If you live outside of the region or outside of Idaho, maybe you think of blank fields, potatoes, and, well, a whole lot of nothing. The fact is, Idaho is home to pristine mountains, swaths of protected wildlife, and a very unique, very American delicacy that Idahoans know and love oh so dearly. Or should I say, beefly. Get it? Instead of dear beef, dude? Welcome back to Cooking the States, where we cook a famous dish from a different state in every episode in an attempt to get to the bottom of the true identity of American food. To make finger steaks, we need steak. I'm making two versions of finger steaks, one fairly standard way and one pinky up fancy way. For the standard, I've chosen flank steak because of its natural flat shape and beefy taste. For the fancy variety, I managed to get my hands on a New York strip steak of A5 Wagyu straight from Japan. I'm going to treat both of these steaks the same. First, we need to slice them up into batons, or French fry shapes, if you will. Use a sharp knife to slice 3-inch long by 1/2-inch wide strips of steak. It's a lot easier if you let the meat firm up in the freezer for 30 minutes before slicing. Before we cook, we need to give our meaty appendages a nice bath in a marinade. Well, it's kind of a marinade slash brine. To a large bowl, add 4 cups of buttermilk, a tablespoon of Worcestershire McDerber sauce, and another tablespoon of kosher salt. Whisk that up, dump the steaks in, cover it up, and refrigerate for at least 2 hours or up to overnight. While the fingies marinate, let's get working on our sauces. Believe it or not, finger steaks are often served with cocktail sauce, so we're gonna make some from scratch. To a large bowl, add 2/3 cups of ketchup, a 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire McDerber sauce, a 1/4 teaspoon of vinegary hot sauce, I'm using Tabasco, the juice from 1/2 a lemon, 3 tablespoons of freshly grated horseradish, then black pepper and salt to taste. Mix that thoroughly and boom, sauce of the cocktail complete. Next, we're gonna make what's known as fry sauce in the region. It's a very popular cousin of Thousand Island dressing that Idahoans really dig on their fries. And finger steaks. To a large bowl, add 1 cup of mayonnaise, followed by a 1/2 cup of ketchup, the juice from 1/2 a lemon, a teaspoon of Worcestershire McDerber sauce, a tablespoon and a 1/2 of sugar, 1/2 a teaspoon each of mustard powder, onion powder, and sweet paprika. Then, of course, salt and black pepper to taste. If you're feeling spicy, now is a perfect time to sprinkle in a dash of MSG, and that's it, fry sauce finito. Cover it up and store it in the fridge next to the cocktail sauce until we need it. In my research, I found that some of the most popular finger steak joints serve their meals with garlic bread. So, to make our own, we're going to slice a French baguette into rounds, drizzle some olive oil on each piece, smash a little garlic confit on top, then top with Parmigiano. If you had regular parm, probably use it. I don't, but I do have some of this nice, good old-fashioned Americano parm, which I personally happen to love. It's very near and dear to my heart. Bake that off on a sheet tray in a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, or, just until it's really golden brown and looks all nice. The humble spud, something that Idaho is very, very well known for, Idaho potatoes. We're gonna do 2 things with these. We're gonna make regular, good old Americano French fries, and then we're gonna do a fancy version called potato stacks that I actually learned from my good buddy, a cook named Matt. So, shout out Matty Ice. Let's start with the good old classic French fries. This is about 3 pounds worth of potatoes. Start by slicing off a side of a cleaned potato to stop it from rolling around. Now, I'm slicing 1/2-inch steak fries because, well, we're making these to go along with steak, and I'm all about a good theme. Now, for our fancy potato stacks, I'm going to use a mandolin to slice 1/8 of an inch sheets of potatoes. Then, using the larger pieces, I'm going to stack and square them off. From here, we're going for neat 1 by 2 inch rectangles that sit anywhere from 1 to 1.5 inches tall. Carefully land your potato stacks on a paper towel as you work through them. The starch from the potato should hold the pieces together, but be careful, they could still slide around on you. Respect the tater. Okay, finally, it's TTDF. Time to double fry. Remove the French fries from the holding agua and pat them dry. Working in batches as to not overcrowd the fryer, carefully lower the fries into the preheated oil and cook for 5 to 6 minutes, or really until the fries are cooked through and lightly golden brown. Remove them from the oil and drain on a wire rack or paper towels. Let those fries rest for about 5 minutes, and we can work on our potato stacks in the meantime. For the potato stacks, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to want to use a utensil, like a slotted spoon or something, to carefully lower each stack into the frying oil as not to agitate and break the stacks that we worked so hard on slicing. Watch your little handies as you get close to the oil, you don't want to burn yourself. Let that cook just like the fries until lightly golden brown, then remove them from the oil and let them rest for 5 minutes. Increase the frying oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once again, drop the fries, then fry for an additional 3 to 5 minutes or until full-on golden brown and crispy. Follow suit for the potato stacks, then drain and set aside. Keep the oil on the heat and maintain its temperature while we prepare the batter for our little finger steaks. Alright, so this batter is really akin to something you might find on a corn dog, but, without any cornmeal. To a large bowl, dump in 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, a ½ cup of cornstarch, a 1/4 teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda, then a tablespoon of garlic and onion powder, 3 tablespoons of paprika, salt and pepper to taste, then finally another dash of MSG. Dry whisk that together before pouring in 4 cups of soda water. Whisk that all up until there are no lumps and things are looking something like this. Set it aside. Remove the steaks from the buttermilk marinade and pat dry with paper towels. Working in batches of 4 to 5 steaks at a time, cover each in a little all-purpose flour, shaking off the excess. Then move directly into the batter, once again, letting the excess drip off. Then it's directly back into that preheated hot oil for another 3 to 5 minutes, or until dark golden reddish in color. Drain on paper towels or a wire rack. Then just rinse and repeat with the remaining finger steaks. Now, I went ahead and bought these cutesy little baskets and red and white checkered little wax paper things to kind of serve this all up on. Do this on a plate, do this on a bowl, whatever tickles your balloons. Just serve with a handful of fries, a few finger steaks, then our cocktail sauce, our fry sauce, and, of course, a piece of garlic bread. Now for our fancy Wagyu finger steaks and potato stacks, I'm just plating up, again, on this fancy plate with this fancy truffle powder over the potato stacks and, our not-so-fancy sauces. By now, your face should have a solid 1/4-inch layer of grease on it, and your hair should smell of beef oil. But there is good news. We're ready to munch. Alright, time to taste these steak appendages. Alright, so this is our flank steak, bare bones. Whoa, very tender. Serious corn dog flow. It's kind of like not spongy, but it's like crispy, and it does have a little bit of sponge to it actually, but it's not super spongy. All right, I'm stoked on these. This is out of A5 Wagyu. This Wagyu is so tender because it essentially is beef butter, and it's wrapped around a other very crispy, spongy situation, so it's very rich. So I think it's gonna do good with the sauce. Very tasty, how could it not be? Look at these beauties, come on. How fancy are we? It's a French fry that does not look like a French fry. But it's fancy, that's for sure. I think this might be the most American thing we've made here on Cooking the States. You have deep fried food, not only is it deep fried, but it's beef. So deep fried beef, French fries, bread. Everything about this to me just like screams fast food 1950s America. That's exactly when the stuff was invented, so cheers, kudos, God bless America. I'm gonna be extruding grease from my pores for like 3 weeks. Finger steaks. Yeah, the name sounds a little bit serial killery, but once you get your head out of the Gorno gutter, it actually makes a lot of sense. French fries made from beef? I'm in. Next episode, we are heading back to the Midwest to my home state where I'm standing right now of Illinois. Can you guess what we're gonna make? Comment below what you think we're gonna make for Illinois. At the time I'm shooting this, I just hit 100K, so I know I thanked everybody a million times all over the place, but I thank you so much. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I started making these videos, and here we are, finally at 100,000 omnivores. It's insane. So thanks again for that, and I shall see you next time.